In this training session, we focus on cabinets installed right the first time. At cabinet measure, before the bar wall is covered with drywall, check to see if there is blocking for 9-inch cabinets at each end of the wall. Check the bar wall for level and have adjusted before installing drywall. Check the cabinet plans to verify that the cabinets that were delivered match the plans and that the layout is clear. Check that the walls are plumb, level, and square. This will help to determine when shimming will be necessary for correct cabinet installation. Before beginning cabinet installation, unpack and inspect all the cabinets for damage and completeness. If you find a damaged cabinet or something missing, contact the superintendent and arrange to replace the damaged cabinets before beginning installation. All base cabinets are to be installed and checked for level, plumb, and square within 1/16 of an inch in all directions. When the wall is out of square more than 90 degrees, add shims so the cabinet will be installed plumb, level, and square. This applies to base, wall, and tall cabinets. If the walls are less than 90 degrees from square, add shims to bring the walls into square. This applies to all cabinets, base, wall, and tall cabinets. Use shims to make walls plumb when the walls are not plumb and square. Add shims to provide full support to the cabinet back and sides. Join all base and wall cabinets with flathead screws long enough to penetrate into both stiles a minimum of 3/4 of an inch at the top and the bottom of the stile. Faces must be flush both visually and to the touch. Use 2 1/4 inch screws for joining face frames. Pre-drill the face frame side where the screw is being set. Secure all base, wall, and tall cabinets at the back to the wall with a minimum number 8 or number 10 wood screw, penetrating the framing a minimum of 3/4 of an inch. Place a screw in every stud in the wall behind the cabinets. In locations where cabinet backs do not contact the wall, place shims behind the screws to avoid distorting the cabinet frame. Or take measures to not distort the cabinet frame. Use double plywood at edges of base cabinet counter subtops to provide support for edge band for tiled countertops. At sink cutouts, size the edge band to allow for setting the sink in the countertop. Be sure to add additional doublers perpendicular to the long edges to stabilize the subtops. Before setting cabinets at the bar wall, check to be sure the wall is in the correct position and has not been knocked out of plumb. Use a hole saw to neatly cut out for plumbing penetrations in cabinet backs. This will allow complete coverage of the penetration by the escutcheon. Remove any tailings from the cutout to provide a clean and neat appearance. For cabinets receiving tile, glue and nail edge band 3/8 of an inch above the subtop for the tile. The tolerance here is 1/32 of an inch. Install plywood scraps under counter overhangs between corbels to provide backing for the edge band. This will help to prevent grout cracking on the tile above. Take care to cut miters for crown to eliminate gaps at the completed miter joint. Shoot nails into flatter areas on the crown to simplify applying putty to the nail heads. Use matching stain and fillers to minimize the cuts at miters. Use a permanent marker to darken the long points of miters to blend the miter joints. All cabinet elevations and trim crown details are to be installed according to plan. Be sure to confirm the details on the plans for the home you are installing cabinets in. Install backing for toe kick nailing at all 45-degree base cabinets. Inspect all mantles for defects, including rough textures, before installing. Install mantles level to a tolerance of plus or minus 1/16 inch. Leave a space under the mantle legs to allow for the hearth or flooring to fit under, and to provide a capillary break between the MDF material and the concrete slab. 2 empty cabinet boxes are to be left in the garage. Break down the rest of the cabinet boxes and leave neatly stacked in the garage for the painters, with all other construction and personal debris removed from the site. Be sure to inspect and clean installed cabinets for correct installation and remove all debris. This is what we're looking for: all cabinets installed according to plan, all nails set, puttied, and color matched to optimize appearance, all supports in place and firmly fastened, a clean and attractive cabinet layout ready for the next trade. Do it right the first time and everybody wins.